Have you ever thought about the importance of not always caring so much? Today we're diving into the wisdom-packed pages of Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving AF. This thought-provoking book flips conventional wisdom on its head, urging us to focus on what truly matters in life, and to let go of the rest. It's a journey into the core of our values, the essence of our purpose, and the pursuit of a meaningful life. So, are you ready? Dive into this fascinating exploration of values, purpose, and the pursuit of a meaningful life. In the first chapter, Manson challenges the conventional wisdom of positive thinking. He argues that our society's relentless pursuit of positivity and success is ironically what creates a cycle of constant failure and negativity. Consider this. When we're always chasing after positivity, we're essentially saying that our current state isn't good enough. We're perpetually dissatisfied, always feeling like we're falling short. This constant striving for more, for better, for success, essentially sets us up for perpetual failure. Because no matter how much positivity we attain, it's never enough. We're always left wanting more. Now, this doesn't mean that Manson is advocating for a life of misery and failure. Quite the contrary. What he's saying is that it's important to be comfortable with failure, to embrace it as a part of life, because it's through failure that we learn, grow, and ultimately improve. Manson posits that we should stop trying to avoid failure and instead lean into it. Embrace the discomfort, the challenges, the setbacks. Because it's through these struggles that we find our true selves, that we discover what we're made of. This doesn't mean that we should seek out failure for the sake of failure. Rather, we should view failure as an opportunity for growth, for self-improvement. Instead of running from our problems, we should confront them head-on. The key here is to shift our perspective on failure and success. Instead of viewing success as the absence of failure, we should view it as the result of failure. Because it's through our failures that we learn the lessons necessary for success. This shift in perspective is liberating. It frees us from the constant pressure to be positive, to be successful. It allows us to accept ourselves as we are with all our flaws and failures, and in doing so, it opens up the possibility for genuine happiness. True happiness, according to Manson, comes from struggle and facing the harsh realities of life. The second chapter continues this theme, focusing on the concept of happiness. Now, this might go against what most of us have been taught, but bear with me. Life, as it turns out, is not a bed of roses. Suffering is inevitable. It's a part of the human experience, but here's the twist. The key to happiness isn't found in avoiding suffering. It's found in choosing what we're willing to struggle for, what we're willing to put our blood, sweat, and tears into. It's about finding something so meaningful to us that the struggle becomes worth it. It's about embracing the hardships that come with pursuing our passions, our dreams. That's where true happiness lies. It's not about the absence of problems, but about the ability to deal with them effectively, to grow and learn from them. Happiness then is not a destination, but a journey of struggles that matter to us. The next 3 chapters delve into the concept of entitlement and the value of suffering. Let's start with the idea of being special. Now, it might be hard to digest, but the reality is you're not special, and that's okay. Society has us believe that we're all unique snowflakes, but this belief can breed entitlement. Entitlement is the belief that we're somehow owed something by life, that we're inherently deserving of certain benefits. But here's the catch. The world owes us nothing. It was here first. Believing we're special, that we're entitled to success without the struggle, can hinder our growth. It can make us complacent, lazy even. We start to believe that we don't need to work hard, that we don't need to suffer to achieve our goals. But the truth is, the path to success is paved with hard work and suffering. This brings us to the value of suffering. Now, suffering might seem like a heavy word, but it's not as grim as it sounds. Suffering here doesn't mean misery or despair. It refers to the struggles, the hardships, the sacrifices we make to achieve our goals. It's about the effort we put in, the sweat, the tears, the late nights and early mornings. The value of suffering is in choosing what we're willing to struggle for. It's about deciding what's worth the effort, what's worth the sacrifice. It's about understanding that the journey is as important as the destination, that the struggle is part of the process. And it's about embracing this struggle, because it's through this struggle that we grow, that we learn, that we become better. And this brings us to our final point. We are always choosing. Even when we think we're not, we are. Every moment of every day we're making choices. We're choosing what to do, what to say, how to react. We're choosing our priorities, our values, our struggles. We're choosing our path, our journey, our destination. We're choosing our life. Sometimes these choices are conscious. We weigh the pros and cons, we deliberate, we decide, but often, these choices are unconscious. They're based on our habits, our instincts, our gut feelings. They're automatic, ingrained, second nature, but they're choices nonetheless. And these choices, conscious or unconscious, shape our life. They determine our happiness, our success, our growth. They define who we are, who we become. So remember, you're not special, but that's okay. Embrace the struggle, choose your suffering, make conscious choices because these choices shape your life. The key to growth and happiness is in our choices, in choosing our struggles and accepting the ordinary nature of our lives. The final chapters of the book focus on failure, rejection, mortality, and the acceptance of our finite lives. Mark Manson, the author, presents a different perspective on failure. He believes that failure is not something to be avoided, but rather, it is the way forward. It's through failure that we learn, grow, and ultimately improve. We often view failure as an end, but in reality, it's just the beginning of a learning curve. It's a stepping stone to success. So, embrace failure. It's not a setback, it's a setup for a comeback. Next, Manson delves into the importance of saying no. In a world where we are often pressured to say yes, it's refreshing to understand the value of a well-placed no. Rejection isn't always negative. Sometimes it's merely a difference in value judgment. It's about setting boundaries, preserving our energy for what truly matters, and standing up for our beliefs. So remember, every time you say yes to something you don't really want, you're saying no to something you do. Then we find ourselves confronted with a topic many shy away from: mortality. Manson emphasizes the importance of contemplating our own mortality to live a better life. It might seem morbid to some, but facing our own mortality can provide us with a new perspective. It reminds us that we're not here forever, that our time is limited. It makes us reconsider how we're spending our days and what we're dedicating our energy to. Finally, Manson takes us to the sunny side of death. As paradoxical as it may sound, there is a bright side to the inevitable. Accepting our mortality can lead to a profound shift in how we live. It allows us to let go of the trivial, the petty, and the superficial. It drives us to focus on what truly matters, to appreciate the present, and to live fully and authentically. So don't fear failure, harness it. Don't shy away from saying no, embrace it. Don't hide from your mortality, confront it. And remember, even in the face of death, there is a sunny side. Accepting our mortality allows us to focus on what truly matters, making our lives richer and more meaningful. In The Subtle Art of Not Giving AF, Manson presents a refreshingly honest approach to living a better life. He challenges us to cut through the noise of everyday life and choose what we really care about. By embracing our failures and struggles, we can grow and learn and move forward towards a more fulfilled existence. Manson also urges us to let go of the idea that we are special and entitled to a life without challenges. In fact, it's through these challenges that we come to understand our values and make meaningful choices. Finally, Manson reminds us of our mortality. This isn't to scare us, but to inspire us. Knowing that our time is limited can free us from petty concerns and focus on the things that truly matter. This book is not about indifference but about choosing what matters most in our lives. So, what do you choose to give a F about?